Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work, go to work, go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, go to work, go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't tryna trade my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my ground. Have a little faith and go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm on grind like every day, 'cause I want everything. I can do anything. Check my resume. It's people against you. They see what you've been through. But look in the mirror, tap into your spirit. There's power within you. Like LinkedIn, I'm locked in, get the job done when I clock in. I weighed out my options, put the work in, that's action, no lacking, just stacking. Big dreams I'm attracting, no accidents, that's fate. Just go in and have a little faith. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead, I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head, I'm gon' make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't tryna trade my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my grind, yeah. Have a little faith and go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, now go nuts, go nuts, go nuts, go nuts, go nuts, donuts, 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 donuts.
Hey there, I'm Trevor Houston, the creator of the Who You Know Summit, and I'd like to welcome you to the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
On our program, we'd like to show you the job search like you've never seen.
Everything from getting noticed by employers, how to properly format your resume, and how to network effectively using LinkedIn to drive recruiters to your profile.
We even take suggestions from our amazing community.
So if you want to learn all things job search, go ahead and subscribe now.
Focus! It's all about the job search. So if you want to learn how to land that next success, you heard them. All you got to do is subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on a thing. Welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
Who you know?
But who you know can make all the difference in your career, your business, relationships, and definitely in your life. My name's Trevor Houston, and I'm super excited to bring you another special edition of Who You Know presents Backstage Pass, and a very warm welcome for our live studio audience. Let's go!
All right. right. Where are my job seekers at? Raise your hand. Give me a who you know. All right.
All right,
Welcome,
now,
welcome.
where are the alumni?
Any alumni? Hey, I see
right.
G
There probably
out
is a
there.
lot of
We got a few. We got a
Gee.
few. All right. How about coaches, recruiters, hiring managers? Raise your hand. Give me a
Let's
who
go.
you know. Let's go. All right.
Well, on behalf of the show, we just want to say we appreciate each and every one of you coming out. You could have been anywhere today, and you chose to come out here and hang out with us, so we really appreciate it. And with gas prices, oh my God, listen. So we just appreciate you spending some time with us today, and but we always like to kick
Always.
this thing off with a prayer for the
Right.
audience. So Foster, will you do us the
Right,
honors?
okay. Let's go to the Father, you guys. We're looking for something, right? Father God, we thank you for another day. And you know what? We are looking, you know it, we're looking for that right opportunity, that right career job. Please help us get us there and help us understand along the way. And we pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 All right, now we got to celebrate
Oh,
some
yeah.
landings. Mark, who do we got?
Yeah,
who's recently landed?
We got some landings. One in this room, actually, but I want to give a shout out to Michaela Gilman.
Get your money guns, let's go!
ready.
Money
Woo!
guns.
Michaela.
Hey.
Tom Bliss. Congratulations, Tom. Mario Martinez Jr.
Let's
Congrats,
go!
Mario. Garen Hose and Keith Palmer. And we have our special guest, Omar.
Omar.
as well. Congratulations, everyone. Remember, when you have landed, don't ghost the network, right? Stay connected.
Right.
You never know when you're going to need to tap into that network again. So pay it forward as well. If your company is hiring where you landed, let other people know, right? Other people that are searching for a job, let them know what positions you're hiring for, the company's hiring for.
Absolutely. You got to pay it forward, y'all. Pay it forward. Well, let me tell you, I know somebody, she's up here with us today. She has helped thousands and thousands and thousands of job seekers get back to this right here. Okay, that's what this is all about.
Yep.
It's about getting back to your cash flow. So let me give you a warm introduction for a expert career coach and the CEO of Made Millennial. A warm, who you know, welcome for Madeline Mann. Woo!
So good to be here.
I'm so excited you're here all the way from California.
Yes, Los Angeles.
Well, tell us about your background because I know you made a trip from being in the HR industry
Yes.
in tech,
Yes.
is that right? To now being like full-time career coach, YouTube star. You've got like hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube and millions of views. You're just crushing it, helping a lot of people serving. But how did you make that journey? Like what caused you to do that?
So I was leading HR at a tech company, and I was seeing all behind the scenes of who was landing the job, who was getting promoted. And I saw there's very distinct patterns of things that certain people were doing to be successful in their career versus others who completely deserved it but kept missing those opportunities. So I started replying to applications with feedback. I thought I was going to be a hero, right? Doesn't everyone want feedback on their application? It was a disaster. Turns out people do not like unsolicited feedback. And so I kept it to myself, and I started a YouTube channel for anyone who actually wanted the feedback. And it was just a passion project for a couple of years until it just started exploding. I started getting clients. It was just, their success stories were unbelievable. And so
We're going to switch out your mic here.
Thank
There
you
you
so
go.
much. And so about a year ago, I went completely full-time into the business, and since then I've been featured on ABC, New York Times, Bloomberg, Business Insider, and it's just been fantastic. And who you know?
And who
Love
you know?
it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, all right, yeah, that's a mic drop right there.
All right. So it started, you were just serving. You were like literally giving back and you were solving a problem. You were like, hey, let me give some feedback.
Yes.
Right? And job seekers, are y'all getting feedback? Are y'all getting feedback? No. Right?
Crickets.
So it's funny because
not
they
good.
should have been appreciative of that feedback, right? But you said they weren't appreciative.
So some people were appreciative, but it ended up being so many emails. It was like, okay, let's hop on a call. I've revised my resume. Here, let's game plan. And I was like, oh my gosh.
You're like, whoa,
My
hold on,
inbox
hold on.
just exploded. So there were good people who were ready for it, but then I realized, okay, there's a reason why this doesn't happen. But yeah, and truly, my passion for my career in HR was what made me really want to help other people, because I found my dream job. I loved every day going to work. I felt it was meaningful, it was playing to my strengths, it aligned with my values, and a lot of people don't say that about their 9 to 5. And I was like, no, you can do this too.
I love that. All right, so working in HR, I'm sure you you got to see the behind the scenes. What is some of the secrets behind the scenes of HR?
Yes. So one of the probably most devastating things that I realized was the most talented person does not land the job.
Okay.
It's the person who articulates their value the best.
Ooh.
And so if you are good at your job, that does not mean you're good at job searching.
Oh, hold up.
That's another, yeah.
Hold up.
And
Absolutely.
so, and that's why we have things like who you know and all these things, because it's a completely different skill set. And so many of us are sitting in the bottle and we can't read the label. We're so close to our own experience that when it comes to doing these interviews or writing our resume, it all kind of comes up very cloudy. And so that's my mission, is to help people find the glory in their story and land these career-defining jobs.
I love that. I love that. Round of applause, guys.
Yeah.
Can you say, hold on, I should have gave you another mic drop.
Sitting in the bottle and can't read the label.
Can't read the label, yeah. That's a mic drop. That's a mic drop. All right, so your YouTube channel is known for interview tips, right? And guys, y'all need to go check out her YouTube channel. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You've got millions of followers per year, or millions of visitors per year that look at your content. Thousands of success stories in the comments, right? People are telling you about how they've got back to their cash flow. What are some of the best tips for interviewing?
Okay, so I was internal in companies training these interviewers how to interview. And here's another devastating fact, is whether these people had 10 weeks of interview experience or 10 years, a lot of people are not very good at interviewing candidates. So the odds that your interviewer hasn't well prepared for your interview, hasn't thought through a bad, okay, and great answer for the questions they're asking, and all these different things, they haven't fully clarified the criteria with the hiring manager, those odds are very high. So what's so important is that we need to go into the interview, and this is the most important thing I teach my clients when it comes to interviews, is you need to learn how to control the interview. Make sure whatever narrative you want to get across gets across, because we cannot wait for them to ask the right questions. You need to kind of, and it's funny because people, when I tell them this, they're like, Madeline, I don't know about this. Like they're going to think that I'm trying to control the interview, but they don't even know you're doing this. You just start to curve the conversation in the right way, and they walk out of that interview saying, that was the best interview I've had all day. We need to hire this person. And it works for career changers. It works for all across the board. But you need to go in with that plan.
So what a great segue, because Trevor queued you up perfectly, which is my question. Let's talk about interview questions, right? You said a lot of times the interviewers aren't prepared. So how would you answer maybe like one or two of these questions? Like, why would we hire you? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Maybe what's your greatest weakness?
Let's start with the first one.
Yeah, why would we hire you?
Okay, so I imagine when you get this question, why should we hire you? You're just thinking, you invited me to this interview. Like, you tell me, right? And so it's a very frustrating question.
That's a good one. Like hold on. You brought me here.
Yeah.
Like what?
I had to throw one in on that one.
So I think a lot of people get a bit defensive when they get this question. But really, this is one of those questions where it is a mic drop moment for you. Like they are basically throwing you the softest ball for you to hit out of the park. That's the way I want you to think about it. So when they ask you, why should we hire you? Essentially they're saying, do my work for me. Analyze your candidacy for me so I don't have to think. That's all they're saying. Give me a good reason to tell the hiring manager, we're done looking. I don't have to do any more interviews. This is the person. So what I want you to do is I want you to go over what you know about the role and the job description. So you say, I noticed this role really focuses on X, Y, and Z. And based on that, and based on my experience, I've done X, Y, and Z, in relation to that. Is that the way you see me in this role, or did I miss any key factors about this position? And they're like, oop, Yep, and then if you did miss something, they tell you, and then you can address it right there on the spot. So you're really addressing, you're showing that you really listened and understood the role, and you're making it more of a conversation.
Yes, yeah, and it may even bring them to be like, okay, no more questions.
Right.
Yeah,
They're like,
you've answered it.
we're done.
What
So,
about
Madeline,
I was going to say, what about the 5-year question?
The 5-year question. Okay, so does anyone actually know where you're going to be in 5 years? I don't think we do. I don't think any of us thought we were going to be here 5 years ago. So, but this is actually, I would say, one of the when I was working in HR, this was probably one of the top 3 questions that would immediately get people disqualified based on their answer. So it's crucial that you answer this one correctly. And it's also asked, like, what are your future plans? What do you want for your career? Those are the same question. Sure. So what you want to do is they are just wanting to make sure that this isn't a career experiment. Essentially, that you're not taking this job because it's a job, because you haven't really figured out what you want to do yet, because you're just thinking, maybe I want to work in product management and this is my chance to try it. They are terrified of that because they do not want to train you and struggle to retain you because you haven't done the work on your own to figure out if this is the right next step. So your answer needs to be clear about what you want to do next, perfectly in line with the role, but not mentioning role titles. Now, this is very difficult. We typically say, I want your job. I want the next job title.
That's what I say. Yeah, I want your job.
Yes,
Give me
yes.
your job.
I want to be CEO. Or the
Yeah.
worst is saying something completely separate of like, I want to start my own coffee shop. And they're like, whoa, okay, that's like totally. But people say it all the time because they think it makes them sound ambitious. But what you want to say is, if you were to get your boss's job, what would that take? So it might say, I want to become the go-to person in my function where people are going to me like, and I'm an expert at X, whatever is the field. And then you might talk about landing on bigger projects. What would bigger projects mean? I want to work on bigger productions or whatnot. I want to mentor others. Maybe say that instead of manage others if it's not a managerial role, so that you're not like asking for a title, but you're saying, this is how I'm looking to expand. Maybe certain skill sets you want to build. And what that's all saying, that's all pure value to the business. Because if you do all those things, you will get that next job, but you're understanding what they're getting and what you're working towards versus a title.
I love that. I have a question though. I want to throw a little curveball. What if it is a gap job that you are like, this isn't my forever home. I really don't want to, move up in this company. I just need to get some cash flow, and that's about it.
You can keep it kind of open-ended, right? So you can say something about so for my next move, here's why I'm so interested in this role. And then what comes after that? 5 years is a long time. So we'll see what comes after that. But I'm really interested in the next, to have my job be this next job because I want to learn X, Y, Z skills. And that's also a very fair answer. But you have to make sure that whatever you say is directly in line with the job you're getting. Even if it's shorter term, don't say short term, but just as the next job, I want this, because that is an auto rejection if you do say something else.
Yeah.
Love that. What about the last question was about your weakness, right? Because I know that's kind of that's an interesting one. That's like, tell me about your weakness.
I want to hear that.
Okay. How do you answer that?
You just say you're a perfectionist.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. No. Don't say that, okay? That's what everyone says. No, instead, and so just to fully underline that is the most common answer. And so let's move away from that. So what you want to do is they're looking for several things. They're looking for that you are a self-aware candidate, which is one of the most desirable traits as for someone to manage. And the second thing they're looking for is, if I was to hire you, I know every single person has strengths and weaknesses. Let me direct you towards your strengths and maybe manage you away from your weaknesses or help you train up on that. So there is a sense of empathy. And then the third thing is your weakness going to be an Achilles heel and we're not going to give you the job? So knowing that there's also that booby trap there that we need to avoid, you cannot say anything in this answer that is a core function of the role. You will get disqualified. But I still think you should tell an honest answer. So I'll give you actually an example that I used once in a human resources, I think like a director of human resources interview. So they asked me, what is your greatest weakness? And I said, the thing that I have been working on the most is actually my approach to sales. And I know that sounds a little bit strange for a human resources person, but what I've found is I have a lot of I don't have the positional power in human resources to make people do things, but I have to have influential power. And so I found that so much of my role is internally selling programs. And I think I'm more of like a workhorse, like I build things and I hope that people come. But I've been working on building that ability to get buy-in. And so the things I've been doing have been X, Y, and Z. And so then I walked through how I have been in the past, and then I showed how I was working on it. Like I named certain books that I was reading and classes I was taking. And so you want to show that you have a weakness, but that you're also working on it and give concrete examples of how you're working on it. You don't have to have arrived at, I am now perfect at something, but you want to show that you're that person who there's areas for growth and I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm going to drop the mic on that.
Yeah. Hit it.
Development.
So
yeah,
what
development.
consistently, what do you see job seekers, what kind of mistakes you see job seekers making consistently?
I think probably the number one thing I'm seeing right now is they're thinking the wider I go with my search, the more opportunities I will get.
Oh, spray and pray.
And that could not be farther from the truth. I teach my clients a low volume job search, which like I'll take, for example, my client Nestor, before I worked with him, he applied to 500 jobs. Now, if the job search...
Hold on. I got to ask, anybody in the audience done that? Just be honest. Raise your hand. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like I know people do that. It's okay. I get those messages all the time where they're beat down. They're like, they get beat down and they say, I applied for 5,000 and nothing, rejection. Right?
Yes, and if the job search was a numbers game, anyone who knows anything about statistics, he would have gotten an offer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. But he didn't. And so he ended up doing a low volume job search. For every 3 companies he pursued, he got 1 to 2 interviews. Okay? This is the same human, just a couple months apart. And he was a career transitioner, but he also had a master's degree. He had great experience, but he wanted to transition to corporate. So he went from research to training and development in a corporate world. But what is so important here is to make sure that you're clear on your next step before you dive in. Because I always tell my clients, like, I can help anyone land a job, but they have to know what that job is, right? And of course, there's a process to go about that, and there's so much we can talk about there. But yes, I think that going broad is never going to serve you.
Mm-hmm. And like Trevor said, I mean, each unanswered, even if you don't get the no, it's still rejection. So that rejection just stacks.
Yeah,
right?
over time. It just
so
beats you
tiring.
down.
Yeah.
After 500 applications,
We don't need to apply for things that we know we're not going to get a call on, guys. We're wasting our time. We want to focus on those things. I'm a recruiter. We want to focus on those things that we know we have the experience and we can prove it if they ask us about those main 3 things that Madeline was talking about at the beginning.
So I have a question, and I'd like your feedback on it because it hit me on the last show, and I thought it was a pretty good idea. So I think a way that we can solve this problem of everybody spraying and praying, and also stop the problem of employers ghosting, right?
Yeah.
Because the problem is when the internet came along, everybody just applies online. It's too easy now.
Yep.
It's too easy. You know, even with LinkedIn, it's just one button, right? You can apply for jobs. So you got people applying for jobs they know they shouldn't apply for. Well, what if there was a system, and I don't know what the right system is, but what if there was a system where it costs money to apply, right? And maybe it's credits, like maybe LinkedIn had a subscription, right, where you can only apply for so many jobs, right? And it's a credit-based system. And on the same token, if the candidate gets to the interview stage and they don't hire that person, they've got to pay them, right? So on one end, it keeps people from applying for jobs that they shouldn't apply for because they have to think twice about it because it costs money. And on the other end, the companies that don't hire after 12 rounds of interviews, like we've seen that, 12 rounds of interview and then they don't hire you, they should pay you for your time,
Yeah.
right? What are your thoughts on that?
That's really interesting. I do think that the online applications are one of the worst things to ever happen to the job market.
Yeah, amen. Amen to that. Woo!
Goal.
Yeah, just to put it into perspective, and I know y'all have seen this, is I when I was working in HR, I tracked how many job applications were qualified, moderately qualified, or also completely unqualified.
Right.
Do you want to guess how many people were completely unqualified?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys want to guess? Anyone want to guess? 80%. Do y'all follow me? Yes.
80%.
Yeah, that's amazing. It was 80%. That's spot on. That is
There's
spot
the
on.
issue.
So your resume is buried under 80% of these folks where, to be honest, most people who work in recruiting HR, if there are 1,000 applications and they've already found all the people they need to interview, they're not going to read the last 300 where maybe yours was, but it's all buried so much. So yes, I think that some sort of, I don't know if it's a barrier to entry or some sort of process that would help the right people be seen. But unfortunately, that has now been replaced with things like referrals and basically getting into, I call it job search parkour, where you try to get into the building. These are like because it's so messed up, I teach people to basically, if you know parkour, it's like it's an urban like sport where you get to a place in an unconventional way. You hop on a bridge, and then you jump onto a ledge, and then you pull up onto a roof. And so you can do that in order to get into a company instead of trying to walk through the front door where there's a line, around the block. So yes, you either need to find a different way or the system of applications needs to change.
I love that. Okay, so you teach people on your channel multiple things. I mean, you've got resume tips, interview tips, you got LinkedIn, I mean, the whole gamut, networking. What's your favorite subject to talk about, and what is actually the subject that you teach that gets the most engagement? Like, what are people really leaning on for you?
So people love to talk about the applicant tracking system,
ATS,
the ATS, and that is not your enemy. So
Right.
that's been really interesting. Is people think that there's like robots scanning your resumes. It's most of the recruiters I know, they're reading them. And so there's more there that we like to kind of blame these robots, but there's a lot more there. What's funny is every time I put out content about networking, it kind of tanks when who you know is everything.
What?
And so it's just so important. But people, they hear the word networking and they have an allergic reaction.
Why do you think that is?
Why is that?
What's your definition of networking?
Relationship building.
Wait. I want to take it.
Reload.
I'm gonna hit you there. But I'm gonna take it a step further than that. It's figuring out how you can serve the other person, because oftentimes people go into a networking scenario and they're like, let me tell you what I need.
Yes.
Like let me tell you what I do and what I need, and no, that's the opposite the way that you should do it. It's you want to get to know the other person so you can figure out how you can serve them. Can I connect a dot? Can I make an introduction? What can I do to help this person get whatever they want, right? Because I think Zig Ziglar said it, if you help people get what they want, right, you can have anything you want, right? And so that to me is networking. What do you think?
The one word that so many of my clients use when they talk about networking is inauthentic. And that they feel inauthentic when they network.
Ooh.
And that's why they stop. Because they feel spammy. They feel like they're takers. When really people want to help you, you just need to give them a path to help you.
Ooh.
And you're spot on. You also want to be generous in your conversation. People love to tell their stories. So, I think that giving people an opportunity to share their stories is really important, but also asking key questions in the conversation. Questions I love to ask in networking conversations is like, Trevor, what are you excited about lately? Like, what is it? And so it might be a vacation, it might be something you're working on, but whatever it is, in my little brain, I'm going to think about, he's taking the family to Disney World. Okay, well, what tips can I give him? How can I help him with that? Or do I have a friend who works there who can give him like a special tour or something like that? Or if it's something business-wise, I try to think of something little. It might even just be, you have an event, next month. I'll make sure to share it on my LinkedIn. And let's say I have 200 followers. It doesn't matter. I'm sure y'all would still appreciate it, right?
Absolutely.
Relationship, yeah.
It's the fact that you try.
Yes.
It doesn't matter that you actually can do whatever that you're trying to help them with. It's just that you're trying. Like, are you trying to help people?
Yeah.
A lot of times I find people all the time, they're like, well, I don't know how to help them. Did you try? Did you ask?
Yes.
Did you ask questions? figure out what their challenges are, what their problems are?
Yes.
Did you try? If you didn't try, well then you didn't try.
Well, and there's two other things to networking. One is we network all the time, right? You guys network all the time with your friends and your family, et cetera, but it's not forced, right? And so it's kind of like doing the thing that you love and then doing the thing that you love for work, right? Right? Like I love to play pool, but I don't think I would love being a professional pool player, right? So I think that's the difference, is that a lot of people, they don't like to professionally network because it's forced.
Yeah.
Well, if
Versus
you're a giver and you have that spirit,
Right.
it
Make it about them.
shouldn't feel awkward. It shouldn't feel like, but maybe you're not. Maybe you're just a taker. Maybe you're that kind of
Well,
person.
that was the other thing. That was the other thing.
Like,
the other
there's
comment is there's
listen,
givers and there's takers.
I've met
Yeah.
those people where seriously, you're talking to them and you're trying to give and like pour out on them, and they're just take, and it's like, man, you know.
You
some
build
people are
those
just takers.
relationships.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
You build those relationships, guys, by showing interest, like Madeline's saying, showing interest in that person, because it's not about us, really, is it? It's about that person, and then we reap what we sow, right?
So real quick, while we have a few more minutes in here, you have a resume revamp masterclass, and this is a free masterclass.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
What, dang, you even the free 99? $3.99? The free, you giving all the secrets? Talk to us about this masterclass and where can the audience find it?
So you can go to standoutresume.com and you can get this free. It's like an hour-long masterclass, give you kind of a preview of the formula I created to make sure that you are making your resume a sales page instead of a Wikipedia page. So I walk through the glory formula, and so you can see, and this is the type of things, like when I talked about Nestor earlier, he did the glory formula. He started really translating his skills to what companies were looking for, and that's really key. Standoutresume.com.
What was it again?
Standoutresume.com.
Let's go.
But put the
$3.99.
www dot.
Free 99 too, y'all, just so you know. All right, so as you know, it's who you know. It's all about relationships, connecting, all of that good stuff. So who do you know that you think would make a good fit for this show to sit in that chair?
Oh my gosh. Well, my great friend Austin Belsack.
Austin, yes.
He's the man. If
Austin's
anyone knows
been on
him.
this show, but I want him in
Austin's been on the
person.
Yes.
Will you give him a call?
I will.
Give him a call and
I'll
tell
text
him what's
right
up.
after.
All right? You tell him what's up. See, that's how it's done, all right? Guys, do me a big favor right now. Get your phones out. Everybody get your phones out. I want you to take a picture right now. I want you to take a picture, and I want you to post this all over social media. Tell Madeline. I want you to tag her on the post, and I want you to tell her, what was your biggest takeaway? What was the mic drop moment that spoke to you the most? And just blow her up. I want her notifications going bonkers. You know what I'm saying?
And
You already are. But yeah.
What's your preferred way that people reach out and connect with you?
Follow me on LinkedIn. Check out the YouTube channel, Made Millennial. And of course, there's also my website, MadelineMann.com.
Guys, round of applause, Madeline Mann.
Madeline Mann.
We got to go to a real quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we got Omar Rodriguez. We'll be right back.
If a realtor or you are looking to get your real estate license, it's a very low-cost entry, $300 to take your real estate course online. Inexpensive compared to like a college. EXP is $150 to join, and it's like $84 a month. So relatively speaking, these are very inexpensive costs. If you are interested in that and you want to work with me as a realtor, I'd love to have you join my team, and you want to hear about the model, then go to join10xempire.com, and I do this opportunity call every Tuesday. Would love to answer your questions and tell you more about what I'm doing. If anyone out there is interested in working with me.
You know you have something unique to offer your next employer, whether it's your experience or your work ethic or your passion or your personality. But how do you stand out from the crowd when you're stuck sending plain text emails that lack personality, lack humanity, and worst of all, look like every other email in the inbox? Job seekers just like you are discovering how easy it is to put their humanity back into their communication and back into their job search with BombBomb Video. Visit bombbomb.com to start a free trial today and rehumanize your job search.
Back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
Who you know?
who you know can make all the difference in your career, your business, relationships, and your life. Guys, I'm super excited to introduce you to the man, the legend, the quality specialist seeking a new opportunity. A warm welcome for Omar Rodriguez.
Right, Omar.
I like the intro.
You like that?
Yeah.
That's my man right there.
I like how you rolled your R's too.
Trevor rolled his R.
You
Yeah.
like that?
Wait a minute, dude. What's going on?
Hey, so at the last Backstage event, things got real, and today it's gonna get more real.
Realer.
Yeah, real. It's gonna get real. So my goal here today is that we're gonna get vulnerable. We're just gonna put ourselves out there. We're gonna rip the Band-Aid, right? Let the wound heal. Okay, we're gonna let it air out and heal. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool. And I just want to, can I start off as to why I wanted to be here? And
Yeah,
my
go
initial.
for it.
So the reason why I'm here is really to help other job seekers out. Basically what happened, I was in a situation where I moved back to Texas, starting over from scratch. And with this last position that I was supposed to get, I was supposed to be a leasing consultant. I won't name the company, but to make a long story short, it took about 3.5 weeks to from start to finish to figure out what was going on with the position. Needless to say, I got the position. It came with an apartment. It came with a 40% discount as well. So for myself, this was huge. Nowhere to live, no job, and I'm a single dad of 3. So this position was like,
That was a lifeline.
oh my God, it was leveled me up times 1,000. Like the stress was insane. I'm about to lose custody of my little one. All the real stuff that a parent could go through was about to get fixed like that. So after getting the position, even looking at my apartment, I was supposed to get apartment 1033. That's how real it was. I was already assigned an apartment. There ended up being a hiccup on my tax papers. The company needed to verify what I made for 2021, and I was like, okay, let me get that and figure it out. But they were like, we can't give you the position until we verify that. So I'm scramble mode because I'm about to lose everything that is going to help me tremendously. And so my stepdad, who's in Oregon, we're trying to figure it out. We do some, H&R Block stuff. We do taxes. Before that, I was thinking, doing some janky paperwork, like do whatever I got to do, right? To, I'll make something up on Microsoft Word, but whatever.
Hold up.
Yeah.
No, I want you to put yourself in this shoe. Yeah. You do the same thing.
Yeah, that's how real it was
You
because
gotta do what you gotta do.
it was like everything was a go until it was a no-go. So I'm freaking out. Get taxes done, official taxes done. So don't send anyone looking for me. Official taxes. Send it back. Hey, good to go. I sent it back. Ready? Nothing. Okay. I'll check tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. Nothing. Hey, just following up. Is everything good? Nothing. I'll check tomorrow. Check again. Hey, sorry, I've been out of the office for a couple days. I've been sick. Nothing. So finally, I try one more time. Hey, I'll check tomorrow when I get there. Nothing. So I ended up getting completely ghosted. Completely ghosted. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
So you were on very, very right short notice as far as that job goes. You had all these plans. Now you find yourself, you're back in your car.
I'm in my car.
Right? You're back in your car. And there was some help, right? I mean, some people, the community, the network, you had a GoFundMe.
Yes. So, I'm already getting choked up. I hate it. Anyway, so I'm big on networking, and I'm big on relationships. I genuinely love networking and meeting new people and creating those relationships. And like, you know, what was mentioned a little bit ago is I like to be genuine. And I want to do it with authenticity, but at the same time, my story can be overwhelming for some people because they want to help, but they just don't know what to do. They feel like, dang, dude, like it's so.
Well, I want to say something real quick. I want to commend you because at the last event, you know, I could tell your frustration. I could tell you know, things were emotional. It was at a crucial time. And you were vulnerable, and you actually spoke out, right?
Right.
And that's the reason why you're here today,
right?
And you know what I'm saying? And you were able to put your story out there, and a lot of people they'll hold it in, right?
Right.
And they won't let people see the wound,
right?
But when you let people see the wound, people want to help. It's in us to go serve and try to heal someone's problems, right? It's just we just want to, but if you hold it in. Right, so I just want to commend you. I want to give Omar a round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for being vulnerable.
Guys, last month was Mental Health Awareness Month.
Right.
And
I was aware. I was very aware of my
Wow.
Guys, silence is the real killer.
Yeah.
Silence is the real killer. And it's so, like, people, it's hard. Like, talk to us about that. That last event, you were here. Like, what was going through your mind? I could tell you were tearing up. Things were like, walk us through that.
I think the other side of job searching, what people don't know is that there's a lot of things that are happening in people's lives personally that prevent them from even job searching. And the problem is when you talk about mental health, you got to talk about everything. Because you don't know what's going on at home with the wife or the husband or the daughter,
right.
That'll really, really screw somebody up and not even be able to, like, you know, say hi to the neighbor or let alone go to networking events and job search. So there's a lot behind the scenes that can really, really, what's the word I'm looking for? That just, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It just freezes you up.
Yeah.
But
it gives you like you're
debilitating.
Yeah, they're like paralyzed.
Paralyzed, mental paralysis.
Yeah, you freeze up.
You freeze up.
Right?
So
fear does that too.
Yeah, fear, nervousness, shame, embarrassment. You know, like even the last event that I came, like it was a forced. Omar, you need to just get there because my subconsciously my mind was at a subconscious level.
Yeah.
When you're in isolation for long periods of time, that's real easy. But to put yourself at a networking event, man, like there was so many times on the way here that I just wanted to exit and go back home.
But that's the enemy getting in your ear, telling you all the reasons why not.
Yeah, constant mental battle.
Yep, and again, but you showed up.
Showing
up's half the battle, you guys.
That is.
I mean, it's more than half actually. I would say it's like 80% is like just show up.
Get out there and allow the magic to happen.
The whole catalyst for this, right, for the Who You Know and really what drove us and what made us so passionate about it is we lost a good friend early on.
Yeah.
We've lost
to the job
had her
search.
on the show.
But you bring up a great point, which is, and this is for everybody, right? This is for everybody. When you are out there and, you know, what's the question? Oh, how are you doing, right? And what's the typical answer? I'm fine, right? Don't put that mask on, right? You need to have that vulnerability exposed in order for people to be able to help you. Because if you're fine, what is anybody going to do for you? Right?
And the enemy wants to tell you that it's weakness. Right? To be vulnerable. It's not weakness. That is a super strength.
Yes.
Look at where you're at today.
Yes.
Another round of applause. Seriously. It's a super strength.
Yeah.
Like, vulnerability is a strength, in my opinion. And You said something about shame, feeling shame.
Oh, your show. Yeah, man.
So
Yeah.
I did a show a couple weeks ago where I told a little bit about my backstory, and there's a lot of shame in my backstory. I had a rough upbringing, and I've gotten a lot of trouble, and I'd made a lot of mistakes and did a lot of stupid stuff. And but you know, the way that you get rid of your shame is you got to shine light on it.
Yeah.
Right? Shine light on it so that the enemy doesn't own the story, you do.
Right.
You have control over it.
Right.
Right?
I'm coming with one.
Yeah, I wanted to
That's good.
shine the light on it, so to speak, for many reasons, especially my kids. I want to make them proud. That's what matters most. You know, I want them to look up at me and be like, you know, that dude went through some ish. He went through some major, but
He came out on top.
yeah, like look what he overcame by himself. Because
Yes.
I'm here in Texas by myself. There is no resources. There's no family. There's whatever.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
That's where you're wrong.
Yeah, I stand corrected. Resources like who you know.
Yeah.
You know, these guys have been
And you're not alone.
yeah.
You're never alone.
You're not alone, and in the sense that, you know, if you're in that room or wherever you're at, if you allow yourself to be alone, you will be.
Yeah.
If you allow yourself
Yeah.
to step out and, like Trevor says, you know, shine that flashlight on whatever hour you got, if it's everything, people will come out. And I'm doing this really for two reasons: to let others know, like recruiters or hiring managers, that, you know, you may have a ton of candidates out there, or one that you really like, but you don't. There may be something that's holding him back, and, you know, sometimes you got to dig a little bit deeper, you know, to figure out what's going on. But yeah.
Can we all do me a favor on both sides, both job seekers and anybody on the hiring side, the recruiters, the hiring managers? Like, can we just stop the ghosting for a minute? Stop
Please.
ghosting each other, right? I understand there's all these people and all these applications, but like the ghosting, it's a rejection.
Oh, man.
Right? That just beats you down.
I have no idea why. I have no idea why I didn't get the job. I mean, I mean, it was from recruiter. It was from interviewing from the recruiter to the vice president of the company in a matter of 3 days. They all were like, dude, pass them on, dude, pass them on. They were super impressed. For me, that confidence, man, I was like on cloud 9.
Yeah.
I actually felt worthy for, you know, that I hadn't felt worthy in a long time. So that was huge. And I was like, man, you know, had a little pep in my step, you know, felt good to then just complete ghosting.
Oh,
Well, I know
no.
why you didn't get
Yeah.
that job. I know why you didn't get that job.
Tell me.
There's something better for you.
That's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah, well,
That's the truth.
yeah, and I believe that. And
What did I tell you yesterday? Wait on the Lord, and he shall renew thy
Yeah,
strength. Right?
Yeah.
And you should mount up with
On wings
What?
of
What?
eagles.
wings of and soar with eagles. Right?
yeah,
There's a reason for this season. There's a reason for that pause. Okay? And there's something better for you.
yeah, I believe that.
And don't forget to take up the full armor of God,
Yeah, yeah,
That's for sure.
because that's what's going to sustain you.
I believe that, and I do believe in God, and I don't want to get too religious, but, you know, my faith has been all over the place, but I do think that anyone out there, if you're just going through a really hard time, it starts with reaching out to Mark or Trevor or the job father here.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
Just reach
because
out to me.
you know, it's that
Yeah.
you guys y'all made it feel safe. Y'all made it feel okay to, like, be somebody that's down here and to, like, hey, can I talk for a minute? And that's what I genuinely appreciate, the openness for that to happen.
Well, you did that, Omar. You did that by showing your wound. I can't watch somebody hurting and struggling and going through a hard time and just turn away. You understand me? You did that.
Yeah.
You showed your wound. If you never would have spoke up, you could have been like somebody in this audience right now who may be going through a similar situation, and you're just sitting there quiet. You had an opportunity to be quiet, and you chose to speak out. And so I saw it, and I ran to it.
Yeah.
A message to hiring managers. There's a lot of you guys that are watching, and there's a couple of you in the audience. Guys, listen, if we take the time to interview somebody and we take that time, whether it's online, whatever it is, you're taking that person's time. You're going to interview them for a job? Come on now. Come on, son. Shouldn't you give that, forget the ghost. You should let that person know something, right?
Yeah, even if it's not a fit, right?
Yeah. And Omar, what are you looking for? I'm a recruiter. You know how I am.
Well,
Yeah, what are you searching for?
My ultimate goal is being like a customer success manager or client relations. I love people. I love relationships. I spent 12 years as a personal trainer, so my ability to like connect with anyone, that's like easy. It doesn't matter your background, what you do. I'm really good at taking vulnerability and bringing it over here and replacing it with belief.
Okay.
And leveling people up. So I'm good at that. I love team building. I love culture. I love all that stuff. Most of my professional background has been sales and business development, account management. So, things where you have to interact with the customers and clients, and that's my jam.
That makes sense, bro.
Damage control. Especially damage control. If somebody screwed something up, send me and I'll fix it.
I love that. I'm going to tell you something. As you were talking, I was watching the audience, and I see the wheels turning in the audience right now. And that's another thing that I think is super important, is that you need to, as a job seeker, you need to be constantly telling people what you need. What are you looking for? What are you searching for? Like the way you just did that, I love that. And so often is it just, job seekers just apply. They're not talking to a human. They're not telling people what they need. They're just apply. Like Madeline was talking about, 500 applications. That's not actually telling people what you need. This is telling people what you need.
Right. And a lot of the times your personal, your challenges and all the adversity that's happening personally could actually be a benefit to your job search. You can develop skills like adapting, different challenges like that. Like it's not just the job skills that you get on the job. Your personal life can also help you get that.
Well, and there's also something that your specific situation can grow from, and that's empathy, right? Because now with your story and what you've gone through, you can share that with others and be empathetic to others that are coming through that. And not only that, but think about hiring managers, recruiters, people that are interviewing you. Like, how many of you have had a bad interview? Right? A bad interview. Or the interviewer was bad or not nice.
Oh, that definitely that one.
Or terse. Exactly what you said before, like the job seeker is going through so much that you may not see below the surface, right? The interviewer also could be going through that. So keep that in mind as well and show empathy for them.
Empathy. Yeah, put yourself in the other person's shoes. I always do that when I'm teaching job seekers. It's like, put yourself in the recruiter and the hiring manager's shoes. What are they going through on a day-to-day? And just find commonality and find ways that you can connect. I think that's really, really important. Okay, what do you think, Omar, what is one of your qualities that is being overlooked in your job search? Like one of your highest, best qualities that's being overlooked. People aren't seeing it.
You told us.
Yeah, that little dribble's like scrambling, he's going. One of my best qualities. Patience.
Patience.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Because
let's go.
I think for what I'm wanting to do, you have to be patient with one another. We're all human. We're all different, but we're all human. And I think right now there's a lot of situations where there is no patience.
Oh, yeah.
You and I talked about this yesterday. Everything's on us. You want it now. But at a human level, we have to be patient with one another, and that's something that being, single dad of 3 kids, and then being a trainer. Imagine if I was a trainer that had no patience for my client. Oh, come on, hurry up, Frank. You should already be at 10 push-ups by now, and it's like that's not how it works.
Nope.
Yeah.
And I've learned that just being, empathetic to one another and allows that patience.
Patience is another superpower. It's one that I struggle with all the time. And, it's life. You just want things. And especially the way the world is, like you said, everything's now on demand, Amazon, Netflix, right? It's just, you want it now. But again, I mentioned earlier, wait on the Lord, right? Wait, patience. You have to have patience. So I love that. It's a super strength. So communicate that more.
Yeah, I do. I do need to communicate that more. I'm still working on just kind of getting out of my shell, so to speak. It's really challenging to go from like no network, not talking to anyone, really to this. But I'm trying. So if you see,
that's all you got to do.
Yeah. So if you
Best you can do.
if you see a lot of
That is.
thank you.
The best you can do. And speaking of trying, what is going to help you accomplish that, right? Like if you had 3 wishes, what would those be resource-wise? What do you need right now?
Oh man, well to be straight up, I'm still in my car right now, so that sucks. Especially in the summertime, and it's not even hot yet.
Yeah.
So this is real. I just spent 5 days in a row in the car, so that's real.
Yeah.
I got a hotel room last night.
Okay.
Courtesy to my dad, I was like, dude, I'm about to be on a podcast tomorrow, like for real. I was looking like Chewbacca. I was just feeling rough. I was like, I had to shave this morning, but but the living situation is real rough right now.
Okay.
That's a major beat down on anything, even getting something to eat, gas money, just all the little things that I guess maybe other people take for granted. Mm-hmm. Oh man, it would be a huge psychological boost for me because I wouldn't have to worry about where I'm going to eat, where I'm going to sleep, how am I get to the Who You Know network show?
Yeah. Or to work because you're working.
Yeah, right now I'm
contracting right now.
Yeah, I got a position where in Carrollton, so that's something. But even still, just
gotta wait on that check, huh?
Gotta wait on that first check, and you see other people eating, and you're like,
barbecue.
well, this show's all about cash flow, right? That's what this is all about. We're got to help you get back to your cash flow, and so we got a page. You had a GoFundMe page put together, right?
Yeah, I did set one up, and I did update it. I believe a week and a half ago, and
Good.
Well, we want to help you with that, so that's what we're going to do here today.
Yeah.
For the audience, if you feel led, any amount is appreciated.
Any amount
is appreciated. You can find the link, the QR code that you scanned when you walked in, or if you just go to my LinkedIn profile, the top link, you're going to find it there, the link in my bio. But let's get you some cash flow, man. Let's get you out of that car.
Yeah, I'd really appreciate
that.
You feel me? Yeah.
And I believe it's on the Who You Know page as well in LinkedIn too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, anything would be super appreciative. It really would. And I guess I don't want to get too greedy on this, but I haven't been able to get my 8-year-old a birthday gift, so a little something for him so I can get him a birthday gift.
Well, I'm feeling a little bit crazy, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm feeling like just a little crazy right now. I'm just feeling a little crazy. So here's what I'm going to do, okay? So whatever we get put into that account today, at the end of the day, I'm going to match it.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So whatever we get put in.
Wow.
Right? We're going to match it. All right?
Okay.
All right, so I'm asking y'all.
Yeah, make it hard for Trevor, y'all.
Take my money. Take my money. All right. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming up here. And guys, round of applause for Omar.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And before you go, if you can do me a big favor, get your phones out again, start taking the pictures. Okay, I want you to post this thing all over social media.
Yeah.
Take your pictures now, post it all over social media, and tag Omar and tell him, what was one of the mic drop moments that inspired you the most? All right, I want his notifications going off the hook, and I want that GoFundMe going off the hook too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much, and it's not just about me; it's about my kids too. So just think about the kids, and whatever helps me helps them out. So, and I'd really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Guys, we got to go to a real quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we've got Zondra Evans in the house. Let's go.
Hey guys, come work for the most innovative company in the world, 10X Incubator. We're launching 10,000, listen to me, 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. If you're a coder, what?
We got
programmer,
coders, we got graphic designers, we got copywriters, digital marketers, biz dev.
you name it.
You
If
got
you
skill.
like tech, love tech,
hungry.
want to be in tech, okay? We don't actually require that you get the jab here either. Just so you know, if you want it, good. If you don't want it, no problem. We are hiring. We want you. If you're good at your job, if you're disciplined, if you want to be paid well, if you want to be taken care of, if you want to be in a 10X environment, click the link below. Give us your resume and a short video, 30-second video. Just tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. We want you. We want you.
Let's go.
We want you.
It's hard to turn on the TV or unlock your phone and not see the bad of the world on your screen. Well, there is good out there, and you need to see it. Zondra TV Network is the breath of fresh air that you've been needing. Success stories, business ventures, and walks of faith. Visit the home of positive and inspirational programming, Zondra TV.
Oh. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. I ain't tryna trade my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my ground. Have a little faith and go to work. Go to work. I'm gonna ride like every day, 'cause I want everything. I can do anything. Check my resume. It's people against you. They see what you've been through. But look in the mirror, tap into your spirit, it's power within you. Like LinkedIn, I'm locked in, get the job done when I clock in. I weighed out my options, put the work in, that's action, no lacking, just stacking. Big dreams I'm attracting, no accidents, that's fate. Just go in and have a little faith. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead, I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head, I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, ain't gotta.
Oh, job networking show where what you know is important, but who you know can make all the difference in your career, business, relationships, and your life. I'm super excited to introduce you to the CEO of Zondra TV Network. If I can get a warm, who you know welcome for Zondra Evans.
Trev, man, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. How y'all doing today?
Welcome, Zondra.
Good. This is, you've been with us before, and I remember, actually, I did an interview on your show, Biz Talk, right? And we talked about, we had a conversation on that show, and I want to kind of go back to that. If we can go back in time, is that cool with you?
Let's go back in time.
Right, let's go back in time.
No problem with that.
So we had a conversation about how, before you started the Zondra TV Network and all of this flash you got going right now, right? You got the golden handshake after 40 years in corporate America?
Yeah.
I did.
Well, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Because you know what? I'm a corporate vet, been a corporate vet all my life, 40 years. I'm extremely loyal. Only 2 jobs.
2 jobs.
Wow.
In 40 years.
That's
Ain't nobody doing that no more.
Got it good.
You know, one job was in technology. I worked for Intel for 25 years. And then, and I left there because I was like, I need to go. I'm going to go do my own thing.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to retire early, but you get back in the job search. But I got hired by a healthcare company, and I should have known that when they said, we don't care where you live, because I told them I'm moving back to Texas, and they said, we don't care where you live. Well, that was true, because when they hired me, on the spot, by the way, I was on the road for 7 straight years, 3 weeks out of the month.
Wow.
So again, I'm loyal to
that.
that company. I worked there 15 years. And one day I came in and they gave me the golden handshake, which is a layoff. And I had never been laid off from a job. So I was like, hell no.
It's okay. You can say it.
I was like, are you kidding me? Well, you know, other people got laid off too. They were crying. I was passing out the tissues, but yet I was skipping the hallway. And I said,
hold
no,
on.
I said, there's something wrong with me. It's something wrong with me.
Well, let's talk about that. You mentioned on the show that you had an exit strategy.
That's it. Now that I look in my rear view mirror, because we always have to, you know, look in our rear view mirror sometime and see. I had an exit strategy, so I knew what I was going to do. I just started implementing. I took it out, blew the dust off of it, and started implementing. But here's the thing about an exit strategy, guys. I got to tell you this. You build an exit strategy in good times, not when you get laid off from a job, not when you quit a job. You build the exit strategy and start implementing it while you still
Start
getting
implementing.
that money.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, when things are good, you want to just, you know,
Cruise.
spend money, go on a cruise, whatever. You know, you want to.
You're just on autopilot.
Coast.
Yep, coast.
Yeah,
right?
but you know, in good times, you have more options available to you.
Absolutely.
And so you're able to think broader. You're able to really do that blue sky moment for yourself and dream because you don't have no worries. I'm getting a paycheck in another week.
Yeah.
And I ain't worried about nothing.
Yeah.
So
Good.
let me go ahead and dream. But I think the key thing is implementing some of that exit strategy, creating and setting the foundation before you exit.
So how long had you been preparing for that?
5 years.
Oh, okay.
Snap.
Okay.
5 years.
But that's
5
good.
years. Not thinking that I was going to lose a job, but you never know what's going to happen. And I think
Not in this world.
Listen,
Yeah.
because you know what? Either they're going to pull the trigger or you are. So you have to decide who's going to pull the trigger. Sometimes they pull it on you, and sometimes you want to pull it on them. Either way, if you got a good, solid exit strategy, you're in good hands.
Love that.
Being prepared.
Well, what steps did you do to prepare? What were some of the things? 5 years. Like, you were laying that foundation so that way, boom, you're ready to roll.
Yeah, you know, I'm a certified coach, but I have to tell you the story about this. That was not my job in corporate. I was the vice president of sales and marketing. So that was not my job, but I convinced my company to pay $15,000 for me to get certified as a coach. And
There you go.
Because
why not?
well, here's the thing. Because you know what? I started coaching their people on the side.
Yeah.
And they were saying, oh my God, Zondra's a great coach. And I was like, look at all the coaching you've gotten for free. I believe you owe me that. And they paid for it.
Dang.
Oh,
now
yeah.
that's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Gotta ask for it.
So when you got that golden handshake, you had your coaching, you were ready to rock and roll, right? Was there any fear or anything right that day that you got that pink slip?
I'm going to tell you.
You said you were skipping. No fear.
I was skipping the hallway.
No fear?
I'm going to tell you why I wasn't no fear.
Okay.
I had an exit strategy, and they promised to pay me for 13 months my salary every 2 weeks.
Oh, shoot.
So I was skipping the hall because I was like, I've always felt like corporate was my umbrella of protection.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And why? Because there's benefits and there's, your salary, and their employees can become, part of your lab as you're, learning how to coach and things like that. So they have always, it's my number one gremlin, the umbrella of protection from corporate was a gremlin for me. But the mere fact that they paid me, God knows. See, this is the thing. God knows each of one of us individually. And God knew I wasn't finna walk away from them 7 figures just to me go like, deuces. No, I wanted that money. So he made a way. He made a way.
And he always
So
13 months.
You had a built-in angel investor in your new coaching.
There you go. Exactly.
So okay, what would you say to someone, because we meet a lot of job seekers who are starting over in the later stages of their career, right? What would you say to someone like that who's having to reinvent and start over?
Now, Trevor, they hired me when I was 9, so I know I said 40 years. Y'all know I have to be funny. I have to lighten it up. But here's the thing. It's never too late. I mean, here's the thing. And I have to look at you all and tell y'all, here I am owning a TV network. And I always say I am a baby boomer with millennial tendencies. What in the world? What in the... So I don't think it's never too late. It's about mindset. And if your mindset is in alignment and right, you can do anything through Christ who strengthens us.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, you do have this this energy about you, right?
Oh, yeah.
That you do. You're captivating. You have this energy about you. And I think that's one of the things that would help someone to combat ageism if they feel like they're getting that as they're applying and things. I mean, if you're slow and you're kind of,
Why we got to be slow? Get some Geritol.
Hey, listen.
Get some Geritol, because when you're slow.
Listen, I'm talking
to be on and slow.
No.
Tim Conway on Carol Burnett show.
But hey, we're getting real because I've seen it.
Here's the thing. Do you understand that?
Where do you get your energy from?
Jesus. Woo! I get it from Jesus. And I tell you where I get it from. But here's the thing. You have to be relevant till you die. Now, you got to be relevant
till you die.
Till you die. And so that's the thing. Being relevant. Not getting into the mindset, I don't know how to use a computer. I don't know what to do. Come on now. Like I said, I'm a baby boomer with millennial tendencies. What do I know about streaming technology? But God taught me. And this is not where I started. My exit strategy was not to own a TV network. And that's the thing that people think, you left corporate to have this TV network? No, I left corporate to do what I love to do. A mic in my hand in front of thousands.
Let's go! Okay, so tell us about that. Talk to me about Zondra TV Network. How are you? Talk about when you first started it, and then how are you? Like, you're getting these shows on Roku and Amazon Fire and Apple TV, and like you're taking it to a whole nother level. Tell us about it.
Well, like I said, my exit strategy was not to do this, Trevor and team. It really wasn't. My exit strategy was to do motivational, inspirational speaking because that's what I am. Give me a mic in my hand in front of 1,000 people and there would be no fear because that's what I love to do. But God saw fit to put a mic around my neck in front of millions versus a mic in my hand in front of thousands. You have to accept the call on your life. So I accepted the call over 5 years ago. But at the end of the day, y'all on these mics. But at the end of the day, when I think about 5-6 years ago when I started, people were smiling at me, but they was looking at me like, girl, go get a job.
Exactly.
Hold on. Your smile right there was priceless. She said,
go get a job because nobody's going to be watching TV on their phone or on their, iPad and I was like, yes, they are. And think about it, that was just 5 years ago. Our mindset was like, we always going to look at a TV on the wall. We still do. But really, it's anytime, anywhere is really the name of the game. And I saw that 5.5 years ago, and I was like, I don't care what they say. this is the way it's going to be.
Oh.
And created Zondra.
A vision in your head, how you saw it coming.
I don't know that I saw it coming, but Jesus did.
That's the thing.
So
if we go there and we use what Jesus gave us, the doors will just kind of magically open up.
Yeah.
Omar, you ain't got no word, brother.
None at all.
So how
Not
do
at
you
all.
get shows onto the streaming channels, Roku and Amazon and all that stuff? How do you get them? Like, because is there a process? Is there like a vetting process and then funding and like how does that work? Like someone that doesn't have any idea, they're like, okay, I've got I do live streams or whatever. How do I get it up to that next level on streaming channels?
Yeah, you know, I gotta give a little history. So Trevor, I bought my first Roku channel, and I had 2 shows, and I was like, this is kind of crazy. Ain't nobody coming over here to watch it. What kind of binge watching is that gonna be? You know, I mean, binge me. I mean, you know, and so I had 2 shows, but God told me to buy it, so I did buy the channel, and then started developing it. The long of the skinny is that's what got catapulted us into Comcast cable regionally.
Okay.
It catapulted us into multiple Roku, Amazon, and Apple channels, and then in 2019. I heard a voice that said, build the network and build a training academy. Teach people what I taught you. And I said, okay, that sounds like an incubator. And so we built it in August of 19. And you know what happened in 2020. But it was our explosive growth year.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
It was our explosive growth year. We ran our first academy. I had a Zoom meeting. And I had 7 people that had said earlier in 2019, I want to be on your network. And I was like, I ain't got one. You know, but I was like, okay. And so I called those 7 people in the room. 5 of them joined immediately. In 30 days, I had 12 entrepreneurs that were going to pivot and become TV producers on Roku, Amazon, and Apple TV.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's awesome.
Okay. So I'll talk about that for a second. So for the audience, maybe it's a vision that you've had. Maybe you want to speak on stages. Maybe you want to have your own show or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Does it have to be lights, camera? Does it have to be studio quality? Can they do? Tell me about that. Do you have shows on your network that are? I'm sure you got this. I know you got this.
I got this.
Right? But do you have maybe a lower quality, or where do people start?
No, because I don't believe in nothing lower quality, because God,
Okay.
God requires me to operate in excellence.
Okay.
So I can't go lower. There's no lower quality. So you got to know. I didn't empty it out. You got to know what you're doing. Now, I also, made room for podcasters. Because I knew that podcasts with audio and video would need distribution sooner or later on TV. So I made room for that, but I still require that people go through the academy, because the media and TV academy teaches you how to posture in the media and how to be effective, the lighting that you do need. We want good quality. Most of my producers actually produce in-house. We're a full production company. We did everything. We're development, production, and distribution.
Do you have any examples of a show that maybe didn't start out with all of the production?
I do.
But yet was able to be successful and then launch into that?
Absolutely. Leadership Global is on my network.
Leadership
Leadership Global, Linda Fisk. It's a podcast, and she has really good lighting, and she does it out of her office, and it's all good. So she's on our network, and we are streaming like 50 shows of hers.
Wow.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And she just does it kind of on her own.
She does it on her own, and then she uploads it, and we go in and drop in a couple of commercials and put her out there on TV.
Okay, so you just led right on in there. So commercials.
Yeah.
Right? Sponsors, right? Because a lot of this stuff. So how does someone go about? Do you have tips on?
Of course I do.
Like, I need to get a sponsor.
Come on,
I need some of this.
You need some of that do re mi.
Any sponsors out there? Just
You know, yeah, exactly.
Throwing that out there.
Here's the thing. I think when you're making this pivot to come into TV, this is new territory for most people.
Right.
I mean, we could have a podcast, you know, and that's great. But when you really start talking about being on TV and what that does for you and the gravitas
Whole
that
nother
comes
level.
along, it's a whole
Because everybody's got a
nother
podcast.
level. Everybody got a podcast.
Everybody got a
Yeah.
podcast. Zoom. If
Yeah.
you have a Zoom account, you have
You
a
got
podcast.
a podcast. Right?
Everybody got a podcast.
Everybody got a podcast.
Everybody.
So this right here, what you're
Everybody.
doing is awesome, but you need distribution on TV. So
right.
here's what the thing about sponsors. When we built it with integrated commercial bank.
Okay.
Which means that
Tell me what that
as
is.
you come on as a producer, we don't expect you to go out and get your sponsors on day one because you got to learn the business. It's a business thing. So we have a commercial bank, and when you film your shows, we then go and place commercials in your content to legitimize you out the gate. So when you tell people I'm on TV, go check out my show, they're going to see a commercial break. And the belief is somebody paid for that.
So does
And they did.
Hold on. No, and I love
Yeah.
what you're saying. So when I first started this show, okay, I went to my power partners in the community because I didn't have sponsors. And I went to them and I said, these are relationships I already had formed. And I
Yeah.
said, hey, listen, I want to give you a commercial on my show to create that perception that I had sponsors, right? And I said, I want to give you this, right, until I can replace it, and then I will
That's
give
what
you
we
an
did.
opportunity if you would like to. You could buy it if you want to, but, right? But yeah, you have to create that perception.
You're a genius.
You like that?
You're a genius because that's the way we built it. To me,
see
that is the winning factor because it legitimizes you and socializes your content on another level. Everything we do, we are ready for any level of TV distribution, which is why we can, you know, spread our wings and be distributed in Australia and London and. Because we've already built it in a way that it's undeniable.
Well, that was part of my question, which is you have the TV side of it, but then you also probably have a media advertising side of it then too, right?
Do.
So you have
We
a
do. We're
joint
full
business.
service digital marketing and advertisement company. And so we teach you how to go get those advertisers. And so, you know, everybody's, you know, used to talking about white label. So, you know, we do a lot of white label. We white label the contents of the package and then you can layer your brand on top of it. We have a base price, but you can set your price based on your content. So we really, I mean, the goal of Zondra TV Network is to really be that place for business entrepreneurs to pivot into TV and start making that money. Because ain't nobody making no money on YouTube for real now. I mean, I don't know. You getting some? I ain't getting none. But
I bet she's getting some.
But you probably getting some. But you
Madeline
know,
out there, she getting some. She
but
getting a little bit.
it's one
She's like,
in 75 people in the room. You know, one. I want to create more winners than that. Just one. And so the way you do that is on TV and having sponsors and advertisers. But we teach you how to do that and how to go after your avatar because yours is different from mine.
I love that. And so you've got all those packages ready to go so that people can step in
Absolutely.
and go sell that package.
Yeah.
Where do they, okay, so I got this package, I sign up, I'm ready to rock and roll. How do I find my target audience to go sell it to so that I can grab those sponsors?
Well, in the incubator, we go through and talk
Okay.
about your target audience. But also what comes with the incubator, I get to do my business coaching. Every producer that's in the academy gets an hour and a half of my time once a month for us to do business strategy and planning because every single person is different. So I take the floodlight approach once a month for 2 hours, and then I do the flashlight approach one-on-one with each of the producers so we can build their business strategy.
Well, and I love that. So you're giving them your time. Your time is your money.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. I'm sure because you've been doing this, like you've been through a lot. I'm sure there's been some ups, some downs.
And
Talk
some
to me about
turnarounds.
some
Turnarounds, some
look
180s.
look for the exit.
Yeah.
Like what? Talk to us about some of those challenging times that you had starting this business because it's exploding and you're just doing amazing things and I love it. What were some of the dark moments that you had to overcome?
I think I've never really talked about this a whole bunch. But I sold my house for this vision.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all good.
I went all in for this vision. And I really thought, because I heard, you're going to be a lender, not a borrower, that I was to take that money and invest it into my business. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did, because I didn't want to owe nobody. I'm going to be the lender. Well, now that I look back over the years, I mean, and money gone, money gone, and I think about it. Really, what God was telling me at the time is that you will be the lender of money to small business entrepreneurs to make their dreams come true on TV.
I love it. I love it.
So that's our business model. Yeah.
I hear stepping out on faith happening.
That's our business model. Everybody that comes to Zondra TV Network is 20% down, and then monthly payments over 3, 6, 12 months at 0% interest rate in order for your dream to come true. Uh-huh. Because people don't walk out here with I got sponsors with all this money. Throw some money in there for me.
How do you find and vet one of your shows, right? Like, obviously, it's a business, so you don't want to really turn that many people away if you don't have to, but some clearly aren't probably the right fit,
or
right?
what?
Oh, yeah, I've had to turn a few folks away.
You had to say this
because,
this
the content, we've coined ourselves as the home of positive programming.
Okay.
So there's just certain things can't be on my channel.
Sure.
Okay.
And I don't have no problem going you know what? All that is great.
Go on with your bad self.
Yeah, you get to go on with yourself. Yeah, and let me turn you on to maybe somebody else that might be willing to do that. Mm-hmm. But I won't compromise on that.
I love that.
I just will not compromise.
Yes. Let them on and be money gone.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'd like to do something right now. Who in the audience has a dream? Does anybody raise your hand if you've got a dream? I got one. Oh man, we got a bunch of them. Okay. You got a dream, right? Okay, I got a bunch of hands going up. So what I would like, if you'd like to share with us what your dream is, that we can maybe build a TV show around your dream and get it out there to millions of people. Just raise your hand real quick. You got a dream you'd like to share? All right, Hope, can you bring the mic, please? Just one, please.
How's it going? My name's Daryl Holloway, and I've had a nonprofit called Acts of Joy since 2015. I lived in Indonesia for a year, and I got to see what a third world country looked like. And then when I came back to the United States, I was like, man, I'm grateful to be in the United States because of the things we have. And I know we have problems, but I saw different problems when I was in Indonesia. So my dream's always to build this program or this nonprofit up to things to give back to people. And Acts of Joy basically is what I would do, and I do this depends on the time frame. Last year I gave 386 pairs of socks to the homeless. I've bought meals at Walmart. I've done things like that. I've given Starbucks to other people just out of the blue. So it's a dream that started pretty well, and then it's kind of dwindled because I was a school teacher, and then the time wasn't there. And now now I'm a realtor. I just resigned from being a teacher this May, and it's always in the back of my mind to bring Acts of Joys back to basically give and spread joy, because happiness is easy. Everyone could be happy tomorrow, but they also can be sad the next day. But if you can be joyful in your heart, which we all learned from going to church and being religious and believing in God, that's really what matters. And that's why Acts of Joy to me is a big passion. And I'd love to take that off the ground and for it to be what I do. I love recruiting people to the part of giving back and building relationships. And that's part of the reason why I've been a teacher, because it was all about the kids. So.
Love it. Hey, Zondra, can I do something real quick? All right. So we got this, fish bowl and stuff, but we're gonna do this later. Actually, I know you wanted to give an hour coaching session to the audience, so I'd like to give it to that guy, the guy that did. Yeah, I'd like you to do that for him.
Give him my card, Dean. Thank you. It's on. Demi will give you my card, and you just make an appointment, and I'd love to sit down and talk to you about your goals and strategies, and then figure out how we can make some of that come to reality.
Love that. Boom. Love that. Boom. Coming soon to a network near you.
You better know it.
Let's go.
You better know it.
What is the best way for the audience to connect with you?
You know, it's so simple. BeOnZTV.com. That's BeOnZTV.com.
Love that. Guys, if you can do me a favor, take your pictures now. Get your pictures. Post that on social media. Do you have a hashtag or anything that you use?
Hashtag Zondra TV Network.
There you go. Yeah. Hashtag Zondra TV Network. That's right. And you know, tell her, you know, what was one of these mic drop moments that meant something to you. And I want her notifications going crazy, y'all. Guys, warm welcome for
Zondra.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go. Guys, we got to go to a real quick break, but do not go anywhere, because when we come back, we got Serah D'Laine in the house.
It's time to pay it forward. Who You Know Nation, check it out. I got an idea. It's actually not my idea. It's not really original, but the movie Pay It Forward, where he's talking about helping 3 people. And if those 3 people help 3 people, and then those 3 people help 3 people, right? It starts to create impact and change. And that's what I'm all about. I've been doing our summit and everything with the Who You Know show now for years. Everything is free to the community. We've been giving for years, and it's always been about impact for me. And so I'm going to ask you for a favor. I'm going to ask you to pay it forward. It's something we always talk about. If we've ever provided you any value, I want you to share it to 3 job seekers, 3 people who are looking for their next successful opportunity. Or the other thing you could do would be to share the link to our summit online. You can literally just do it in a social post. You could post it out there. But if we do this, think about it. We can cause change. We can actually make an impact, and you can be part of that. And I want you to be part of that. We appreciate you. Hope you have a phenomenal, blessed day. And let's go make some change out there in the world. All right. Thanks.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
Who you know?
Who you know can make all the difference in your business, your career, your relationships, and your life. Guys, I'm super excited to introduce you someone who has gone from Hollywood to transformational leadership, business brand, and a marketing strategist. If I can get a warm Who You Know welcome for Serah D'Laine.
Show.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I've been on the edge of my seat like all day, and just amazing speakers, amazing information. You guys are getting awesome value.
This is
this is great.
Well, I'm super excited you're here. So Amberly Lago introduced us.
I was gonna say I'm here because of Who You Know.
Yeah.
So it's really like Who You Know.
Yeah.
And so I want to know about your journey, your story, because from Hollywood, right? Like you've been on a lot of films, like Wild Things, American Pie 2, Mermaids, Roswell. Like you've been in a lot of stuff. Like you talk about, we were just talking about TV, right? Like you're on the TV. So you went from
I did my career backwards.
You did it backwards?
Everybody's like trying to get into more of like whatever status. I'm like, okay, I've been there. Now let me like mess that up and then start over from the beginning and build something on my own. I do a lot of things backwards.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, tell us about the story.
It starts with a vision, and then you work it backwards.
Well, talk to us about it. Well, tell me about Hollywood, right? And why you got into transformational leadership.
Right. How
Yeah. What led you there?
Massive bridge over to that. So yes, I started at 13, so really, really young. Child star, if you will. I mean, doing the whole lifestyle that most people are like, celebrity parties and red carpets and all the things that are like glitz and glamour. It is not what it is cracked up to be. Let me just tell you.
Oh. Yep.
And because of just the scene, the industry, I mean, that's networking. You gotta be a personal brand. You have to get your own work. You have to go without work for a long time. Madeline was even talking about how, really wanting feedback. Like, we ask for feedback. We want feedback. Like, that is a big thing in the industry. Like, after a audition or something, you're like, what could I have done differently? So it's a completely different world.
Do they give you feedback?
No, not always.
No?
No. Sometimes they're like, we just went another direction.
Or if they do, if they do,
like,
are they like,
"Thank
are they
you."
harsh? Are they like, what's the guy from American Idol? What's his, Simon Cowell. Are they like him?
No, it's not.
They,
no, that's
okay.
a little dramatic. That's TV.
TV.
That's
Well,
TV. It's dramatic.
Okay.
But no, it is. It feels a little bit like, I don't want to say it feels like ghosting, but you don't always get the feedback. You don't always get to know how to adjust yourself to make yourself better. And you have an agent in between, so you're always like calling. You're like, okay, like what could I have done? And they're like, just wasn't the right look. And then you take it upon yourself, right? Because that's now it's rejection on you or how you performed as a character. So there's a lot of rejection. You'll be rejected 3 times a day, 3 or 4.
Well, I want to talk about that.
Okay.
All right. So
you wanted to know how I got into transformational leadership.
Gets rejected. Our audience gets rejected 3 times a day, right? Yeah. I mean, it just happens. The job seekers are applying online and they're getting those canned emails. So talk to us about rejection. How do you overcome rejection? How do you overcome that feeling of like imposter syndrome or whatever? Like, you just feel
labels
empty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We don't like labels, do we? Nobody wants to be like, yeah, I got imposter syndrome. One of the biggest things, and now I teach this to my clients because, yes, there's imposter syndrome, but I actually think, and I'll say it this way, so follow for a second, because I do a lot of the internal work, right? So there's personal branding, there's personal development. So in the personal development, like getting out of your own way, getting out of your head, imposter syndrome, I look at it this way, it's a resistance to the version of you that you would ideally need to become for whatever that level of success is. So if we act like the highest version of you, the best version of you, the most authentic version of you, right? I call it your identity of success. Sometimes it's your future self, right? Like I start playing with the different parts of your personality are like characters. And some of them are either in alignment together. Some of them are either like on the same team, or maybe you've got like Patricia and she's a perfectionist. And then maybe you've got like Debbie Downer, right? Like on the bad days. And if they're arguing, it's like 2 kids in the back seat and they're like not on the same team for your level of success that you want to get to. And it's also not something, because there's that whole principle of like fake it till you make it, like get out of imposter syndrome. I do not agree with that.
No.
Completely do not agree with that. For this point exactly, if you're going to tap into a version of you, everybody's heard for every next level, you're going to need to be a new version of yourself or find or discover that version of yourself. Anybody heard that? So it's not something you fabricate. You don't go shopping for your future self. You don't go shopping for your like identity of success.
Yeah, like who do I want to be today?
You're gonna find it somewhere within. So it always comes from an authentic place. It is not something that's fake. It's not something that's falsified.
Right.
It is something that you are tapping into deep within and then you are embodying it. An actor's job, if you will, is not to act. Their job is to embody an authentic characteristic, an authentic personality. So if you tap into playing that game, thank you. That was dramatic. You're getting. He wants to be on a soap opera too. Very dramatic.
Well, it was kind of like the solo clap, the clap that's like.
You're like.
Yeah.
I had to help him out. I love it.
I appreciate that help.
Well, I've got a question about that because so you've got Hollywood, you've got rejection, constant rejection, you've got zero feedback, you've got all of the mental health issues that go along with that, right? So
This is why I got into transformational leadership.
Exactly, right? Because when you don't get feedback, you start to have self-doubt, right? In self-worth issues.
No, not at all.
You can.
Not at all.
Not at all. So
I've never experienced that one bit.
And maybe some of the other people that you've seen be most successful at overcoming that. Like, what have you done to address that, or how did you overcome it?
I dove into personal development, like head first. But I was also going through a really deep spiritual experience in my life, a really deep journey. There was a lot of things that I was not doing in Hollywood that I shouldn't have been doing in Hollywood, right? So I got into a lot of things. I mean, you start young. I was running through a lot of personal stuff personal healing that I hadn't yet addressed for a long time. I was using characters to escape, but on one level that had me not really know who the authentic version of me was. And so I suffered because of that, got into a lot of drugs and alcohol, did all of that. I don't recommend that as a life lesson. There's many other ways to learn lessons in life than to go that direct and then almost die. It's not a good plan. But that put me on, talk about a calling and really shifting your calling. I woke up to really recognizing that I wasn't in touch with an authentic version of me. And I didn't know what that was. And that scared the out of me. The other thing that was happening is the industry changed. So actors, directors, writers, everybody went on strike. I couldn't get hired. Yeah. It was a massive time in the entertainment industry. And any industry will go through shifts, as we all well know, even the last couple of years. So I'm sitting here now. I've started at 13. I've been rejected, right? So you get used to that to a certain extent. It gets numb. So to answer your question, you're like, okay, you have to just find how it's not you, and you just show up and you do better. Okay. You just show up and you're like, okay, let's do better. But also at that time, I couldn't get hired. Nobody, it was offer only. It was like, you send in your resume and they're like, we already have an offer, but we're going to take your resume anyway. That's just, so imagine
that's kind
that.
of messed up.
Yeah.
Like, we already hired this person, but you can go ahead and apply.
But when things are happening, you can't hate on it. When things are happening in an industry, everybody's trying to hedge their bets with making money and doing things that's going to be best for an industry. That all being said, I had started so young that I also tested out of high school at 15, so I didn't go to college, so I didn't have traditional education. I had life skills. I knew I had a personal brand. I knew how to connect with people. I knew how to build relationships. I knew how to be a brand. I knew I was the product.
Well, let's go into that. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Okay, because you are a personal brand expert.
Oh, thank you.
You talk about a personal brand is not a maybe, but it's a must for success.
Now especially, yeah.
Yeah, well, talk to us about that.
Everybody went digital the last couple years.
Yeah.
So not only that, everybody's checking everybody else on social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, doesn't matter. So whether you know it or not, everybody has a personal brand. I just like to identify, are you doing things and strategizing in a way that would make your personal brand profitable?
So are you just like posting about cats, or are you like,
That could work for you if you're selling something for cats.
But no, I see
don't
a lot
hate
of people,
on anybody's dream. Just what are you?
Well, I talk about that too because we see with these job seekers sometimes. If I was a hiring manager and I'm looking at two candidates and they both have
Are you checking their social media?
That's right. And then I go to one and I see nothing and I see pictures of cats or whatever it is. And then I go to the other and it's like they're telling me the problem they solve, who they solve it for, why they're the expert, why they're the authority in that space, they're the expert. Like, I'm going to go, oh, okay. That's an easy choice.
It's an easy choice, and it's also because we also got into a little bit of the space of everybody on social media, and then there's false things and fake things and fabricated lifestyle, right, and all of that stuff. Exactly. So that being said, the key that I want to just make sure, and this goes to whether you're going in for a job interview or whether you're posting something on social media, the most important thing is to be your authentic self. And who was talking about like having self-awareness as being like one? I don't know if that was Madeline, but right, like, so that is having self-awareness of who you are is step one in even just the full transformation of just really knowing yourself. It's also phase one in when I do my profitable personal brand. It's like really understanding your persona. Who are you? Who are you truly? What do you care about? What do you want to talk about that you're passionate about? Put that on social media. Educate people or share or inspire somebody with something that means a lot to you, and then make it look good. Because then just brand it, make it look nice.
Well, okay. On that note, okay.
Branding's not all visual, but let's just.
Well,
let's
okay.
just say
So
that's a big part of
like
it.
Instagram is your like highlight reel, like it's all picture perfect and this kind of stuff. But
I built my business on Instagram.
But when you're saying
100%.
authentic, right? I'm hearing that word. Life is not an Instagram reel. So what do you think people should do? Do you recommend only put the good, or should I because I had a day the other day, I'm not even gonna I put some personal stuff out there, right? And that's just me. I put it out there. What is your recommendation on that? Do you think people should show the full picture or just give you the highlight reel?
That's such a good point.
It's a good point.
Because we all, everybody wants to feel like, oh, this is my highlight reel. I have a lot of highlight reels, and I have a lot of stuff that I did messed up.
Low light reels.
I got low light. Oh,
Low
that's
light
good.
reels.
We got highlight reels and we got low light reels. So here's the difference, though.
Mic drop from Foster. There you go. That's good.
If you have a low light reel, well, everybody's got one, right? But if you want to share your low light reel, the key is then don't share it mid low light, because that's just not what you're in the experience. You have no awareness. You're in it. You have no awareness of like 2020 being hindsight. Like you have no understanding of what's the lesson in this. How did this benefit me? How could this benefit somebody else? Right? We all want to give support or anything to somebody else. You can't give support if you're in the middle of it. So share your low light reel, share the experience, share the lessons that you learned after you came out on the other side. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm crying and show how I'm vulnerable.
Yeah.
You can be vulnerable and share an experience authentically with like it,
I want to add to that. Okay, I want to add to that. So one of the things that I think people should do is when they're having an emotional moment, when something's, maybe they're angry, maybe they're sad, whatever's going on in their world, they're having this moment, okay? I do think it's important, pull that camera out. Pull that camera out and capture it, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you got to post it. Okay? So to your point.
But I want to say something with
go
that.
ahead.
Because if you're in a moment with yourself, and you're taking a hot second to be like, oh my God, let me shoot this. This is a great moment. Then you may miss the moment of your lesson for yourself. Just, so like be in it. Be okay with being in it. Then break the camera out.
Then break the camera out, okay?
Like you're
Or maybe
still in
journal
it.
about it,
Or
right?
journal about it. But like, I mean, and this is such an actor thing too, because whenever we would have a crying moment, you're like, oh my God, this is so good. Let me like log this in my crying so the next scene that I can actually like tap in and use it. So I get what you're saying, but then you're pulling yourself out of the experience. You just are.
Okay. Here comes the job father out of me.
Yeah, let me hear from Foster.
Now, you guys hear me talk all the time. My number one word is relationship.
Ooh,
Now,
can we talk about that?
What we're talking about right now, that brand, well, you will have an affinity. A lot of people will come to you. A lot of those people have, you can see that maybe God brought some of these people to you, right? So I like the word you talk about relationships, kind of like being a dating situation. So explain that to us.
So, and this will go perfect with even networking, right? Because anybody that's like, I don't know how you feel about networking, how do you feel about dating? Even if you're in a relationship, right? I could get a lot of people in trouble right now. I look at it like this. Marketing, whether you are marketing yourself, your product, whatever, on social media, locally, or if you're marketing yourself to go into a job, whatever that is, marketing is like dating. Branding, your brand, your personal brand, or your product brand, the tool for that, that is about building trust. So that's how marketing and branding are different. Sales, buying is intimacy.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about that.
Mm-hmm. Which part?
You said buying is intimacy.
Yes. I say it a little bit differently, but maybe not camera appropriate.
Understood.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Go ahead, be authentic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we've just
I lost my sensor a long time.
We've just come out of Mental Health Awareness Month, right?
Yes, we did.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your self-mastery and your leadership formula?
Yeah.
Right? How that works.
So I call it the self-aligned leadership strategy. They're a series of techniques or behavioral shifting techniques, if you will. So it's all rooted in, I mean, you're gonna make me nerd out. Like NLP and hypnosis and all the like expert speak stuff. But what it really is, to me, is really going through these series of transformational techniques. If there is something, if you can look at yourself authentically and be like, okay, maybe this I need to change, or maybe I do have, maybe you're okay with saying, I've got perfectionitis, right? Or perfectionitis. I call mine Patricia. I love her. I adore her.
Got a name.
I name them. She's needed. She is my level of excellence. When she starts acting up, I'm like, okay, girl, like you gotta sit down because this is like we're not being productive.
That's my sister's name, Patricia.
I'm so.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So first, it's identifying the parts of you, the ones that you like, the ones that maybe are in an argument with the other ones that would lead you to your success. So it's really going through self-awareness, self-acceptance. That's where you get to have compassion on yourself. You get to love yourself, all the parts, the shadow, the light, all of those parts. And then you get to be in alignment. And the alignment piece is, what are those strategies? What are those techniques that I need to continuously do that will put my behaviors, my mind, my emotional state, my spiritual state, if you will, everything to be in alignment with that future version of you, that highest self, that best, most authentic self that has the dreams that you do and wants to achieve them. Whatever version of that it is for you, tap into that. And then realize the gap that's in between. Mm-hmm. So all we're doing is a series so that we can actually shift the conscious and the subconscious so then it becomes natural. So that then procrastination, perfectionism, all those things are a small conversation rather than something you have to like fight through.
Yes. Okay.
So that's in the transformational leadership sort of techniques.
In your program leads people through that process then?
Yes. Yeah. So after doing thousands of sessions, I recognized a certain pattern that each person was experiencing at every certain level. So once I just started tracking those patterns, like I'm not good at math, but I'll do things backwards. So I'm like, where do you want to be? And then seeing all the patterns that they were experiencing. Mm-hmm. And so I just naturally, knowing the techniques and the education, the certifications that I have, I would implement these very specific strategized techniques. Wow. And then it would just shift them.
Well, I like what you said, because you said the backwards, right? That's like reverse engineering it, right? Yes. You want to, if this is your goal, right, it may seem like it's a mountain. How am I going to get there, right? But working backwards, it really does work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Done that so many times.
When I was in, so I homeschooled myself at 15 before I tested out of high school.
Wow.
I was working.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I didn't have a teacher, so I didn't have the answer book of any problems. So I got the answer book. And some of you might be like, ooh, okay, she could have cheated there, but I didn't. I'd like to have a little integrity. So I used the answer book, and I had to take what the answer was and then work the actual problem backwards to then understand the formula. So if we put those same principles to ourselves, what is your dream? What is your goal? What is the answer that you want to achieve? Work those problems backwards and then understand whatever 1 + 2 + 5 × 3 divided by 6, whatever you got to do to get to that answer, then that's how our minds work. We're not as complicated, but we just kind of get ourselves in our own way. And then when we don't have that clarity and we don't have that awareness and we don't have the tools, like nobody's really like, thank you.
We get in our own way.
We get in our own way. So I look at it as I needed tools for myself. That was my first mission. I wanted to get out of my own way.
So you built this system, this whole thing for yourself.
I learned, and then I
Okay.
found the system. And then out of that, the other thing that I knew that I had was a personal brand. And then social media was only just popping off. Like, I think YouTube was still, 2010, like, it was still a little bit like
building,
just building. And I'm like, I can't get hired. I don't know how to do anything else. I know personal branding, I know psychology, I know emotional mastery, I understand people and relationships. But I also still took myself through, I started business in 2011, and then I took myself through seminars, coaches, mentors, anybody that I could find that understood actual business, branding, marketing, anything I could get my hands on. I became seminar junkie. I was just like, give it to me. NLP, personal development, so I just combined everything. And I did a lot of work around relationships for a long time. And so shifting that into, everybody's like, you built a business, can you show us how to do that? And I was like, well, it's pretty much just the same thing. Marketing is dating, branding is trust, and sales.
Yeah,
buying
sales
is intimacy.
Yeah, sales.
Wow.
Sales.
We'll leave sales be.
All right.
I'll tell you after the show.
Yeah, tell me, Sarah.
So the 3 P's, you have this thing called the 3 P's of a profitable personal brand.
Because everybody has one, but are you strategizing to
Right.
make it profitable?
Leveraging, yeah.
Yeah, because
I'm
you're
tracking with
right.
you on
Everybody's
that
got a
one.
brand. How do you make it profitable? Number one, but tell us the 3 P's.
Persona, presence, profitability. So your persona, again, I'm going to geek out because I get really into like Jungian archetypes, but more specifically his 4 primary archetypes, which is your persona, the animus, anima, like all of that nerdy stuff. So it's really understanding self. I'm not going to get too like complicated with it, but it's like know yourself. Have such self-awareness and self-mastery. Learn the skills for you that nothing will get in your way, or if it does, you've got the skill. It's like going to the gym. You're like, okay, I'm going to continuously go to the gym. I'm going to build these muscles, but you have the solutions to get yourself there. That's in persona. So really understanding self. Presence is the external. That's the like fun, what everybody thinks is branding, the fashion and the colors and the pretty stuff, but it's your message, it's your story. It's how are you presenting yourself to the world on social media, in a job interview, on LinkedIn, like wherever it is. Whatever you have a desire to put out into the world, how are you doing that fits all the congruent strategies for you achieving what it is that you want to achieve? And then the final one is profitability. So what does that look like? Are you selling a brand? Are you selling a product? Do you want to just get hired? Not just, but like, do you want to up level into a job? Like, what is that profitability that you're looking to achieve?
I love that. That's a lot. I mean, there were so many mic drops in there. I don't know where to begin.
3 P's.
That's
it's only entrepreneurship and success. That's all we're talking.
That's it. So you also have a podcast.
Yes.
Talk to us about your podcast and what do you think, well, actually, who do you think would be one of your most inspirational interviews that you've had so far?
So because I only started the podcast a couple months ago, so I've been our dear friend Amberly Lago. She was one, so she'll be on soon. Amazing.
Yeah.
It's called Lead Like Her, and the principle is to really, the her is the highest version of females who want to really step into those levels of leadership. Right? So who is that highest version for you, right? So I'm big on supporting female leaders. I love working with everyone, but it's definitely like a soft spot in me because, right, women, we still need to balance out how many female leaders are really supported in the entrepreneurial world as well as in the career and corporate structures. So that's a big passion of mine. And here, because I moved here about a year ago, still feels like yesterday. So we're doing networking events, putting those together as well. But who else would be? I mean, it's women who honor and appreciate collaboration over competition, That's a big conversation that we are very much still in alignment with shifting that conversation for women.
Hold on. So you're saying there's like, there's a little headbutting going on instead of lifting each other up. Is that what you're saying?
Do you have that as men?
Okay.
I think we all do.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah.
It's just, where are we shifting? So if we're talking about relationships, where are we going to shift the relationships to being collaborative over competition? If you are super clear on your personal brand, which by definition is identifying how you are uniquely an expert in what you do, whatever that is. However you do that. That doesn't always mean the skills that you learned, but you are a unique individual. So that, by definition, makes you completely, like, there's no competition for you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well,
So-
I think there's a difference too between, when you're talking about competition, competition can be a healthy thing.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron, but it doesn't need to be crabs in a bucket where you pull, the crabs in a bucket pulling each other down.
Yes.
That does not need to be competition.
Well, we're talking about anything on a polarizing scale.
Yeah.
Anything that's too much is not always a good thing. Anything that's not good is not.
Like I think of sports, in competition, and I think, hey, they're going against the other team, and there's a healthy competition where people, like I said, iron sharpens iron. But then I've seen it the other way too, where it's like cutthroat, just straight cutthroat. Anything and everything I can do to tear this person down and get to the top.
Politics.
Right?
Politics.
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 Ooh. Ooh.
I mean,
crabs in a bucket.
Crabs in a bucket.
Even Hollywood.
I
I
wasn't gonna say it, but
Yeah.
we all said it. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm passionate about that, is because it's an environment, it's an industry that doesn't always support women coming together. It's the most cutthroat, competitive industry in the world.
Right.
So you get to choose which side you want to be on, what type of person that you want to be. But I think that goes across any industry. You get to choose how you get a job. You get to choose what kind of job, the people that you want to work with. That, again, goes back to relationships. So maybe we should date a little longer and determine, what is truly of quality for us. Who do we really want to be surrounding ourselves with, and what does that look like? It's always relationships. We have literally relationships with everything.
That's it. That's why this show, it's all about who you know. It's all about relationships, connecting.
And how you brand yourself.
And how you brand yourself. You're absolutely right. So you're all about transformational leadership. So does anybody here in the audience want to maybe transform? There's a higher version that you're trying to go.
Or shift their personal brand. Anything on social media or anything on their LinkedIn, anything external as well. I just want to
All right, I got a hand over here. So if we can get this guy the mic, I'd like to hear from, tell us your name, if you would. Stan, tell us your name.
Buddy.
I'm Buddy Bolin.
What is it?
Yes, Buddy Bolin.
Buddy Bolin, nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
Tell us where you're trying to go. You said you want to transform. That next level, that next best success.
I'm definitely trying to get to the next level of myself, the better version of myself from where I've been in my life and in my career, and what can make me a better person, what can give me the things in my life to make me happy. To make me feel
What's
like
his
I'm not
name?
alone in a room.
What's his name?
Whose name?
The highest version of you. Your future self.
It's Buddy.
It's Buddy?
It's Buddy.
Okay. And I'm not saying that it's anything different than you.
No, I understand.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
So what is then the version of you now that is wanting to shift into?
I think I've held myself back a lot. I have. I'm stuck in the corporate world. I have things that I want to do, things that I want to see, a person myself that I want to be, but I feel like I'm stuck because I have things that I have to do. I have a family to take care of, I have a house to take care of, and if I go off just doing what I want to do, all of those things are going to be gone.
So that sentence right there is what's keeping you from doing that.
Yeah.
Because those are real.
Yeah.
Those are real things. Those are tangible.
Absolutely.
I have family, I have kids, I have people, I have responsibilities.
Yes.
And that will get into the voice of your head of well, you have responsibility, so you should stay here continuously doing exactly what you do.
And I do.
Yeah. And what if there was an and? What if you could do that and?
And I do.
Okay.
And I do. I do.
Great.
I absolutely do. And,
Awesome.
and I'm trying to do more of it. And I just feel like though that I get to a point where you get to an impasse and you hit a wall and you're just like, how do I get through that wall? How do I get through that wall? You know, how do I do more of it? Or how do I just
Serah, I have an
really
idea.
break that shell?
I just want to break down the wall right now.
I know. She just wants to shatter that wall. But here's what we're gonna do. So you want to give away a 90-minute personal brand. You call it a breakthrough call, right? We're gonna break those walls down, right?
Perfect match.
Buddy, can we give you the buddy? Is that what we're gonna do? Let's do it. Let's do it. All right.
You ready?
All right. You'll get to spend some time with Serah, and hopefully we can break those walls down and see that transformation and get you to the next stage. All right?
Let's go.
Love that. Serah, what is the best place for the audience to connect with you?
So you can check out my website if you would like. I'm actually doing a quiz right now. What's your profitable personal brand personality? That's at SerahD'Laine.com, SerahDlaine. And at the same time, I'm also very personable. I like to connect with people a little bit more intimately. So find me on LinkedIn, find me on Instagram, shoot me a DM.
Love that. Okay, LinkedIn.
In person.
Get in there.
You go. Relationship.
As you know, it's Who You Know. This show's all about relationships, connection. Who do you know that you think could make an impact in that chair?
That's a great question. I'm meeting a lot of people here. You put me on the spot. I've only been here like a year. But I've definitely been networking a lot.
They don't have to be here.
Oh.
They don't have to be here.
Yeah, they could
That's
be
a
anywhere.
good point.
Yeah, they could be remote. We'll pull them up on the TV.
Who's God
right
crossed
there.
your pathway?
Yeah.
Made an
Across
impact.
my pathway.
Well, I'll let you think
I'm
about
gonna think
that.
about that one.
Think about that.
Because I got some people in mind, but
Yeah,
Okay,
somebody that's what we like to call world changers, right? We like to bring people up here that are making an impact, shaking things up.
Yeah.
You're helping people transform.
Yeah.
Just like
You're
you,
a world
just like
changer.
Amberly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're helping people transform. We need people like that.
Love
And we're always looking. So
love it.
All right?
I'll send you a list.
Love it. Guys, take your pictures right now. I want you to take your pictures, blow her up all over social media, tag her, and tell her what was something that you learned from today's episode. Guys, that's the show.
That's the
It's
show.
all
It's all
about
about
Who Ya Know.
Trevor Houston here, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Who You Know Job Networking Show. We hope you've been inspired, encouraged, educated, and entertained all at the same time. For information on our different events, workshops, partners, or partnership opportunities available, check out whoyouknow.show for more details. And be on the lookout for our new mobile app. You never know how this show could help someone you know. And if we've made an impact or put a smile on your face today, don't forget to hit that share button on your way out. Until next week, it's all about Who You Know. Bye!